Good morning, Land Academy community. Welcome to day 3 of our awesome workshop where we've been covering, basically everything that we do, how we buy and sell land. And we've been doing it successfully for 30 years ourselves and 10 years as the Land Academy. So we are the co-founders. I'm Jill DeWitt, and I'm here with my partner, Steve and Jack Butala. How was your morning, Jack?
Excellent so far.
Good. How quickly could that change?
We'll see here. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. It's
Okay,
been a lot of fun for the last 3 days.
good. I am glad. And thank you for,
We love your questions. So
yeah,
please dream up the hardest question, the deepest, darkest questions that you have, and we'll answer them for sure today.
yep. We, I think by now you have noticed we don't hold back, and we are very honest and good, bad, or otherwise, we're going to give you the answers. So, and I want to just point out again, we're not going to use the Q&A. I'm just going to because it was too hard to toggle between the two for this environment. So like my team just put a note in here. We're gonna just rely on the chat. So if you put a question in there and sit tight, I'll find breaks along the way here, and we'll go and answer those
We'll get to all of them
that you're gonna put in the chat. And just like yesterday too, we'll go. I'm gonna try to make all the content in an hour, and then if we have to spill over to get your questions answered, we are so happy to do that because, like Jack just said, you have had amazing questions today. So it's awesome. I don't know what that is that popped up on my screen there. There we go. You've had some amazing questions. This is good. You have a good one too, Tracy. We'll get to that in a little bit. Like, what's changed in the 30 years? Whew. I'm gonna lead with this. One thing that's changed over the 30 years that we've been, well, he's been doing this for 30 years. I've been doing it for 16. Remember, Land Academy for 10. And even in just the last 16, 15, since I've been doing this, it has gotten easier.
Yeah.
It's kind of easier and faster and more fun. And we'll talk about that more as we get into today. So again, today we're on day 3 of 3. Now we're getting to the selling the land and getting paid. That's the whole point here. Like, I want to see it in my bank account. So just a reminder, today, if you want the replays, here's the link to go back and do that if you just found us. Also, there's a workbook with some homework and some reminders and things for you to keep track of, to help you solidify this there. And of course, there are prizes. So if you attend all 3 days, of course, you automatically get a free strategy call with 2 people on my team, which is really cool. So not just my operations lead, but our transaction coordinator lead. So if you got some little bit of questions about, what is it about how we get deals done special kind of thing, she'll say, oh, let me tell you what I do kind of thing. We're going to have a grand prize drawing later today, as a matter of fact. And we're going to do it in the beginning of our member call when it's open to the public. I believe my team will tell me if it's any different, but I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have a grand prize drawing today for a free property that was covered back on Monday for one lucky person that attended all 3 days live. And I'm looking at the numbers here. Oh, there's a lot of you. So this is great. So cool. All right. And then of course, daily prizes, after each session, one lucky person. I think, did we have 2 yesterday? I thought it was 2 or Monday and Tuesday. But so we'll do a free 30-minute quick start consultation with our team. And don't think you need to know something coming into this. I want to hit this home today too. One of the things about us and what makes us special is we could handle you wherever level you're coming from. If you're like just starting out, I know what's going on here. I just sold my ex company. I just retired from fill in the blank, or, I've got time. I'm really serious about this, but I don't know what to do. You can go from you could be coming at that level. You could be coming at, hey, I dabbled in real estate here. I dabbled in it there, or I was an agent. I was a flipper, whatever. We can help you transition into land easily. And also, if you're like, I know what I'm doing, but I'm just at that last piece of I need to really make this an empire. We can help you there too. So we handle all. You don't have to be that experienced, knowledgeable coming into this. Wherever you are, we'll help you.
These are some of the best questions and comments we've ever had in a public gathering. I wish we could spend 2 hours on it.
Good.
So I'm asking our producer if at the end here we can extend how much time,
Okay.
uh,
I'll
because
make sure.
this is good. This is a really good group.
This is great.
Thank you, Land Academy staff. Whatever you did, you
Yeah.
attracted the right people.
Kudos. Exactly. And then of course, for interaction, forget my team put together some fun swag bags that we'll mail you with some Land Academy swag from the past. It'll be good. There's a hat actually behind my head. So some good stuff in there. All right, so getting on to that was from day 2. We had 2 winners for our Quick Start Consulting Card, Jen P and Willie D. Congratulations. So I want to recap that. So here we are on day 3. So we're going to talk about buying and selling the land and getting paid. We're going to talk about due diligence. This is really, I want to say, one of the most important parts of this process of just making sure you're picking the right property and you're not overbuying, you're not overspending, you're getting it for the right price. We're going to talk about selling land fast, some strategies and marketing secrets, building a buyer's list, getting repeat buyers. It's always helpful. It's interesting. There's probably a large percentage, probably more than I know, that are repeat buyers that we have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
geez.
Scaling this business, even at a part-time level, getting to a quick 10,000 a month and more. And then we have a special guest coming in here too. One of our Land Academy and Career Path alumni are going to be joining us today. So you can ask him some questions too.
Wherever you are in your career, he was sitting right where you are at one point. So
Yep.
he's a real good working model of he made all this stuff work. We're doing deals with him now.
Yep. Of what's possible. Exactly. So here we are. Remember, this is our whole 10-step, the big picture, the whole business model, right? All right. So here's where we are today. We're going to talk about due diligence and making smart acquisition decisions. What do I need to look out for? What the heck are these 8 A's? I heard something about A's. What's that? We're going to go through that in detail. Talking about buying property, when you pull the trigger, using the land broker and or creating the posting yourself, depending what it is, selling it, and then my favorite is just repeat. Once you start this process, these whole 10 things, it's so critical. Like maybe this is, what are we in? Okay, we're at the end of March, April, May, April, this should all happen in, all of this should happen in the same, let's just say 4 weeks. This is good. And then the buying the property, due diligence, and this stuff should all happen in the same week, 1 week. And then down here, this is going to happen immediately following. You need to be thinking of this step 10 constantly. Once this happens and this happens and this happens, some of the stuff on the mail's out, guess what? I'm working on these things. You should keep this, think of a system, and that's what we're going to help you and mentor you to do in Land Academy. It's not go through all the steps, then do it. They all kind of overlap. You don't want to have a lag time. You want to constantly be looking at deals and buying and selling, and that's how you really win. All right, so how do we make sure that we are buying the best properties, which is basically your due diligence process, quickly verifying, does this even make sense? And we're gonna look at one too together. So due diligence, defined as, these are all Jill's definitions, reviewing the property's attributes and flaws to purchase only the best ones. Sometimes you can overcome some things like, I wish it was closer to this, but I'm sure getting it cheap, that's going to make up for it. So that's where you're going to look at these and what's important. Well, it's the Land Academy 8 A's. Jack created this back in early 2000s. So these are the original 4: access, acreage, affordable, attributes. That was the original 4 that Jack trained me on. That was my make sure it has these 4. I don't want it if it doesn't have these 4 things. And then as time came on, I added 5, Jack added 6, I think I added 7, and I think you added 8. It's kind of where we are now. with all of these things.
The last two are about you,
Hmm.
not the deal.
Yep. So here's what we mean, and we're going to go into it here too. I'm going to give you the little sub definitions here. You win right now when you buy it. That's why I said this is so important, the due diligence. We're going to show you how to pick these great ones and, manage it and all that good stuff. But when hang up the phone, you've done all your work, you've checked all the 8As, you all agree on the price, you should be feeling like, holy cow, I know how this is going to go. I can't believe it. So I know for me, I'm going to ask you here in a second, like for me personally, this is the most exciting part of every single thing that we do when
A due diligence?
no, yeah. Well, when I open escrow and we're like, got it. That is my favorite part because I know how it's going to play out. I know what it's going to sell for. I'm like, I'm buying it for 10. It's worth 60. How can I not be excited? And I don't worry about it after that. Everything else just kind of works out. I have a great team.
That's surprising.
Yeah. What do you think my favorite part was?
Putting the money in the bank at the end.
No, because I know what's going to happen. I actually do. That's actually not. Well, and Jack has lovingly, I'm going to use lovingly loosely, called me a deal junkie because I am. This is my favorite part. Like, got it. That's what I wanted. It's mine. It's my price. It's an amazing property. I don't really care. I know what's going to happen. So you need to feel like that.
Jill walks around like with an IV bag and a pole.
Yeah.
And when the IV bag gets empty, there are more deals need to go in there. She's just not right.
That's very true. You are not
Writing
wrong.
this down?
I am. No. I'm making notes. IV bag. That's actually kind of cool. My IV bag trickling into my arm is how many great deals you load up for me.
Yep.
That is actually true. I'm not embarrassed to admit to that. I resemble that comment. All right. So what are you guys talking about again? Okay. So here are the 8As. We're going to go through them here. Access. Does it have physical? Can I drive up to it? It doesn't have to be paved, but can I literally get to it? And do I need four-wheel driver? Can I get there with my Subaru? Or not even a Subaru, but let's just say my Prius. Can I get there with my Prius? Or do I need my Subaru? For us, it would be, can I get there with my Jeep or my race car?
Or an ATV.
Or an ATV. What do I really need to get there? So ideally, it's going to have both. When you're new, starting out, I want you to make sure it has both. Just make it easy. I want legal access, like it's on a road or it's platted out road. And my agent went out, looked at it, and told me driving up there in her sedan was a piece of cake. Awesome.
Legal access is, if you look at the map, there's supposed to be a road there, but it's not there.
Right.
Actual access or physical access is the road's there, and you're legally supposed to be on the road, and the property's right on the road.
Mm-hmm. Acreage.
Second way is better.
Exactly. Yeah, legal. Yeah. If it's legal, if you had to, you could make physical. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
I'm trying to keep this simple.
Thank you. Sorry. Acreage, bigger is normally better, but I always say you want to get the acreage for what you mailed for. We talked about,
Yep.
trolling / fishing the last couple days, and you want to buy, what the market wants, right? That, hey, everybody's anything between 5 and 10 acres in this particular county is flying off the shelves. I did all my math and the red, yellow, green test. So did I get what I'm looking for? Like, oh yeah, this is 5 acres. These are all 5 acres. So that's perfect on the acreage. Check that box. Affordability. And I'm gonna give you an example here. We'll look at that. Affordability is like, did it work? Am I buying it for 10 and it's worth 50? Yeah. And even, everybody, it's easy to see. Attributes. Is there anything special about it? Is it on a creek? Does it have some great views? Is it some hunting property? Is it near the Grand Canyon? Is it, something amazing about it? Is it is it equestrian zoned? There's some special. Alive, and this is what came later, is everyone on the deed. This came up yesterday because I know some of you have already had this happen, and kudos to you. You're working through it. This happens. Is everyone alive and able to sign? In a perfect world, yes. And it's nice when I'm talking to the seller on the phone and I'm looking at the property at the same time and I can say, so I see it's in the name of Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Is Mrs. There's a nice way to go, it's like, hey, is your wife alive? I go, is Mrs. Jones still with us? Oh my gosh, yeah, she's making lunch right now. Betty, I'm like, oh, whew, check that box. Adjacent. This is a Jack one. What is built and used nearby?
No, right adjacent to it,
Yeah.
right next to it. What's happening right next to, let's say, all four sides of the property? If all four sides of the property are vacant, always have been vacant, and everything near it is vacant, there's a good chance that you're just going to resell the property and they're going to use it as vacant property. So adjacent means adjacent.
Afraid. All right. This is your gut feeling. Like sometimes you're like, I don't know. I just have the more I dig into this county, I don't know, I can't figure out the zoning and I can't even get anybody on the phone and, or even, I'm just not sure about the price. I think it's going to be a good deal. So you need to pay attention to that. That's afraid.
I came up with afraid for this reason. This is a very short personal story. When I started out, I tended to force deals down the pipeline that I should not have forced deals because I want to get started. I want to make a bunch of money. I wanted my career to get started and I probably wanted to quit my job at the time. I don't remember. And so I had a problem with that. I had a problem with making up stuff. Like if you go on a first date and you're seeing something with this guy across the table that is not there, you're forcing that. You're
Yeah.
accepting things that because you want it to happen. Uh, you can't force these. The
Mhm.
cure for forcing all of these and to get your afraid percentage down to zero is to have 20 deals,
Mhm.
is to have an abundance, which is the final one, an abundance of deals. If you're 0% afraid and your abundance is at, I have a lot, then you are mailing and utilizing the Land Academy driven tools correctly.
Mhm.
If you have one deal, you have abundance, and you say, I'm looking at one deal only, and I'm 80% afraid of it, you shouldn't do the deal.
Yeah.
So it's an assessment of not just the deal, but where you are with the mailer and your career and all of it.
Yeah. You guys have so many good questions. All right, I'm gonna get through this so we can get to all your awesome questions. All right. Um, afraid, did you cover abundance?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was reading the questions. All right, so let's move on to selling. Oh, you know what? Let me do my quick little thing. So I had this one I popped in here. So let's just practice real quick. We'll zip through the 8As to give you an example of what we're talking about. I don't remember where this property came from, but let's just say I have it 1 second here. I pulled it up. So we're gonna look at this property. We're gonna say we mailed it for 34,999, whatever it is, kind of thing, because that's how our offers would go out. They wouldn't go out at 35,000, but I'm just using that as an example. Let's just see if this really makes sense. So I popped it into Parcel Fact. Here's the property. It's 40 acres. Again, we're buying it for, what did I just say, 35,000 bucks. So
I hope we did this deal.
don't remember. So let's go through the 8As. So let's do them in order real quick here. Access. What do you think, Jack?
Let's see.
I know I can't tell.
Yeah, this is farmland. And see Curtis Davis Road up there? It's got physical and legal access. These eight A's are phase one due diligence. You're supposed to spend less than 10 minutes on them, preferably less than 5.
All
So
right.
we're going to confirm that it's got access, but check. Looks good.
Acreage.
That's 40 acres in Arkansas. Hell yes, check.
Affordability.
It's $35,000 in Arkansas for 40 acres. Hell yes, check.
Attributes.
It's being farmed. This is looks like it's active farmland, and then whatever's going on in the southeast corner looks freaking good to me. This is a dream property that would come back in the mailer. So far,
Alive.
alive is up to Joe. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna say we talked to Larry Eugene Hardy himself.
If you're on the
And
phone with
yeah.
Larry Eugene Hardy, then that's a great indication.
Yep.
Alive check.
Yep. Adjacent.
Yeah, I mean the adjacent properties are being farmed, and you would buy this because it's being farmed. Maybe put a trailer on it for fun.
This is actually pretty. Look at all the greenery and everything going on.
You scroll way out, see where we are in Arkansas.
Russell.
But I don't know, like northeast south. sure we did this deal. I remember it now. Or somebody did.
Here's Memphis.
Yeah. So, all right. So it's west of Memphis.
There we are.
Yeah.
So
That's
here's Arkansas. Here's Little Rock.
between Little Rock and
It's
Memphis.
up in here.
And it's on a thoroughfare
Yeah,
close to it.
exactly. All
Green
right.
light on this.
Adjacent, so we did alive, adjacent, afraid.
I'm at this point 0% afraid of this.
Exactly.
I need to confirm the money, but 35,000 seems really cheap in
And
Arkansas.
abundance. So,
What are the uses of this? Robert says,
mhm.
we're going to use it the way it's being. This is easy. We're going to use it the way it's being used now
Look at all these.
as agriculture. And then what I love about this property, instead of here, can I see the mouse real fast
Yeah,
when you're
that's it.
ready?
I was looking to see when you get into this too, you should be using a tool. This is Parcel Fact. This is our company we made to make it easy for us. You can use Parcel Fact too, obviously, but there's all kinds of things, even in Data Tree, and you could pick out and then do your own little check, Robert, and group what land use 430 means, kind of thing. So cool. Go ahead.
What I love about the use on this is that if you look at this 40 and this 80, it's 100% agriculture, but this property is only being farmed here for some reason, which leaves potential use here for personal use, or you could build a story when you go to sell it about living on your own. They call them hobby farms, but it's like a self-sustaining farm. So someone's going to buy this with a dream of being self-sustaining. And
That looks like water right there on that person's
Yeah.
property too, next door. That's really cool.
I don't mean to take over your thing
No,
here.
you're good.
So this is a FEMA
Oh,
overlay. So the best
nice.
use is when it's in a FEMA floodway here, which is fine.
Mhm,
It's being used as agriculture. These people built in there, so
mhm. This is good.
this would go this is my deal. It would go straight to phase 2 due diligence, which is beyond the scope of this presentation. Phase 2 due diligence is confirming what I think I said in the 8As originally, or really the 6As. And now I'm moving on to, can I use it how I am intended to? And I'm sure you can, because they're already using it as agriculture.
Uh-huh. Hey, I love you. By the way, in the comments, I love that you guys are answering questions for each other and helping each other out a little bit and like saying it's not you. Like I had trouble in this county and someone says, yeah, no kidding. I did, you're okay. It's not you. This is very sweet.
So hold on. So somebody's asking about use, one second, Joe, and somebody's asking you about utilities. These
Mhm.
are very good questions that you should never ask during phase 1 due diligence, which is the 8As.
Right.
The 8A, those things are extremely important, and you need to look at them in phase 2, which we're not going to cover today.
Exactly.
The 8As are, I'm on the phone with the guy. Should I move forward on this deal? It's all it's
Exactly.
designed for is to, yep, I'm now going to look at this as a possible acquisition candidate for myself.
You're going to green light this one because remember you got bombarded with phone calls today kind of thing. So you green light this one and then tomorrow, now you're going to dig into those other things like what is the use? What's the zoning? What's the utilities? Those
Is there
perfect.
water?
Right.
It's ag property.
Mhm.
Where's the water coming from? Stuff like that.
Exactly. Is there a lease on it? Maybe they have
Mhm.
something going on
Yep.
already. So who's farming it? So all excellent, excellent questions. So, all right. So how do we sell it fast? So here's a couple things. Number one, you could sell it yourself. Absolutely. There are still times and environments where we do that with land and houses, by the way, I'm just telling you. Why? Because it saves money. There's no commission. I love that. That's really the best part. And then the cons, like I got to think about, there's a little extra work I got to do. I got to hire my own photographer. I got to get it posted. I got to write the description. Someone's got to manage the phone calls, answering questions, things like that. But in some environments, it's the way to go. It's worth it. The other option to selling it is hire a land-focused broker, which is really my favorite because I get to remove all the cons. Sure, I'm going to pay him a commission, but remember, I'm baking that in. If I'm buying like this property buying for 30,000, it's probably worth over 100. So, I'm going to get a broker that's interested because I'm not messing around. They're going to get a good commission when it's $100,000 sale price versus a $10,000 sales price and they're going to handle all that stuff. And I'm going to pick one that I know that I found doing my homework that is, actively in that area. So they may already have a buyer's list built up. And so hopefully it'll go really, really fast. So that's my thing. building a buyer's list. So why did my picture not show up here? I wonder if I can make it happen. Oops, sorry. Well, I had a cute little picture there. Isn't that funny? It's not in there. So building a buyer's list for repeat sales. I had 2 points on this. One is convenience. Okay. I want to, building a buyer's list. The reason why repeat buyers will come back is because I make it easy. It's a convenient sale. It's very easy and they trust me, kind of thing. Also, great price. Remember we talked about yesterday, I think it was, that we're not here to reset the market. I'm here to make my profit. For us, it's usually double my money and get out. Sometimes more than that. That's kind of where I go for. I want at least double my money, hopefully a little bit more, and get out. And I want my price. I mean, that's why we're like buying for 30, selling for, 110, right? Or selling for 100. I doubled my money and I can afford all the other things that might go into it, like a commission
An
or
integral part of this
photography.
business model is that human nature is to buy as low as possible and sell as high as possible. It's all in our human nature. That's not what it's very, this is important.
Okay.
The Land Academy model is not based on that. The Land Academy model is buying for a reasonable price, getting the deal done very quickly and efficiently, because that it's convenience. You're delivering some convenience to a potential seller, not maximizing their price, but you're not getting it as cheap as you would like to anyway. On the sell side, if you want to maximize your sell side price, you're going to wait a long time. That's not what this model is. You want to just keep buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling.
Exactly.
It's a true wholesale model.
Yeah. And these are just some tips, okay, too. This is not the whole full list of everything
Yeah.
to do here. I just want to get your mind thinking about it. Okay.
We are skipping along the top here.
Yeah. On
Our
purpose.
program it goes in deep
Yeah.
on all of these topics.
All right. So the mechanics, collect some thoughts on ways to build a buyer's list for repeat sales. Maybe collect some tests. And these are things that we've done and Land Academy members have done. So I'm just kind of throwing out ideas for you. Collect testimonials of your happy buyers. I've seen lots of people doing this too, where it's so sweet. They celebrate that when they sell a property, they'll celebrate and congratulate that person in social media, like, hey, Mark P just bought 40 acres of farmland in Arkansas. I'm like, that's the coolest thing. So just some ways that you could do that. And also this is what we've always done for years. We've always made it easy for them to get on my buyer's list. So this is one of our Land Academy members.
Classic example of this is, and we've done this for years, we continue to do it to some lesser degree, is buy property that's very conducive to term sales. Jill and I are not term sellers. We don't sell on terms anymore. We used to. You buy property and then you just sell it for $99 down, $99 a month. There's a lot of term sellers out there that are great at managing that kind of operation, but they're not good acquisitions people. So we put them on a list and make them aware of the fact that hey, here's a property that you might want to sell it on terms.
There you go. Scaling. Now, this is a bit, so you might be taking time and reading this over and really thinking about it later, but these are some of the ways and things I want you to think about to go from one deal to, what did somebody say in here a few minutes ago about consistent Nicole Grant, scaling your business and getting yourself to consistent sales every month. This is for you. All right. And everyone thinking like that, you need to create systems. You have to systemize, like I kind of talked about. See these 10 steps, you don't go through 10 and go, okay, now I'm gonna take a week off, enjoy what money I made, and then I'm gonna start over again. You don't do that. This is a evolving thing. All these steps are going to constantly be repeating themselves, and you're going to go, I'm on this mailer is in phase 3 and this mailer is in phase 10. It's going to keep churning all the time. And how you do that is start creating a system, right out of the gate, for your acquisition process. You're going to set up direct mail campaigns, maybe on a drip system, right? Like maybe once a month. This is what Jack's really good at. Once a
This is
month.
what we do.
Yeah.
What she's about to describe is what I do all consistently.
If you do once a month or once a quarter, I think it varies too. Does it vary where we are in our lives or how much data
Go
you're
ahead and
getting?
describe it, and I'll tell you what we exactly do.
Okay. So, but basically, it's like maybe once a month, maybe you have the first Monday of every month is when you sit down and look at the mailers for that whole month. You kind of plan it all out. And you know, by week 2, it's going
Yeah.
out. And
Yeah.
that's every month you will be doing that. And you're gonna gauge how much mail you're sending out based on your results from last
Yeah.
month or the quarter before, the whole quarter, going, all right, this is how much I made. I send out X amount of units a month. I need to turn it up or I need to turn it down or I need to change something. That's what you're going to be thinking
What
about.
that really accomplishes is the systemization of sending mail out so that you have no choice when that mail it goes out and you know it's out, you don't have a choice now,
True.
which is real. I do very well when I don't have any choices. I have to work.
Same thing. Like my phone's ringing. I
So
have to answer
that's
it.
it. I mean, it's like getting pregnant. That's it. You're in it.
Oh God.
And
Great
might
example.
not be the thing that you want, but you're
It's a
in it.
little late. Great.
So if you put it into it, if you do the mailer one time for the entire quarter, let's say,
Yeah.
then you're really setting yourself up to succeed. Look, if you
Yeah.
do all this work and don't put that stuff in the mail, it's like not putting gas in your car and
Yeah.
expecting it to work.
That's
It's
good.
just not, and it costs, if you wake up in the morning and your car's out of gas, you find a way to get the money to put the gas in the car.
True.
That's what this is.
I love that. Yep. Leverage. Think about this one. This is a really important part of growing. You should have enough deal flow that you're constantly running out of money. That's what really hit it home for me. And so you need to think about that and know that the money is there because anyone staring at a good deal, we're going to come up with the money kind of thing. So really be open to using other people's money when you run out. And then flip side, you know, a year from now, maybe you're the bank for other people and let it do the work for you. It's going to be really great too. In a few minutes, we're going to talk with a Land Academy member who just joined the room, and we do deals together. Actually, we're doing a house right now together, which is really kind of cool. Herbert understands this
You could be
very
sitting
well.
there right now and having this thought. This is the light bulb moment that I had in the early 90s. For the rest of my life, I only have to do one thing. Come up with great real estate deals. Everything else, the money,
Exactly.
the organization, the operations, the whole thing can be solved in other ways. But
Yeah.
if I just do that one thing, come up with undervalued, off-market, great real estate deals, you're going to
Mhm.
have food on the table forever.
I was driving around empty yesterday. Thank you, Mary, for sharing that. This is good. Okay. Automate and delegate for efficiency. You need to think about that. I was talking to someone the other day. I was doing a one-on-one coaching session with someone, and they said, what's one of the things I can do right now as I get started? I'm like, you know what? Right away, start building out your own SOP, your own way you like deals to be done. And I want you to think about what are you good at? What are you not good at? What do you like? What do you not like? Because 10 deals from now or 10 weeks from now, you got the system going. You can start thinking about money's coming in. You can start thinking about what do I need to sub out and replace myself with because I either hate it or I'm not good at it and someone else should be doing it because it's holding me back. So think about that. And then optimizing, the disposition in your sales. Think about building a buyer's list and think about make sure you're selling, on every possible way and platform that makes sense kind of thing. So the main takeaway here is it's all about consistency, funding, automation, and then putting the money right back in. You're going to start small and you're going to gradually grow on it. And I know that's one of the things that we're really, really, really good at because Jack is really, really good at it. There's a lot of people that have come to us from other groups. Like I learned how to do land somewhere else and it was great. It got me to this level, but I can't get past that and they can't help me. And so I wanted to say that's a real common thing that we get a lot of people coming to Land Academy that are pros, but they're like, I don't know how to get this done. And that's where another thing that we really excel at because it's just like drinking water for you.
For decades, people have come to
Mhm.
us and said, why don't you people of software developers have come to us, why don't we just develop this perfect, all-in-one solution to do everything? And I don't want that. And we're not software people, and I don't
Mhm.
want one place where you log into in the morning and it tells you what to do. I don't want that. I want you to build your own business. I want you to learn how to drive a stick shift so that you can enjoy driving an automatic transmission eventually.
Mhm.
So this is about building a business, building you as an entrepreneur, and applying the right personality and the right attitudes and things like that, and going through, quite honestly, the struggles in the beginning and the decision-making process when things aren't working the way that you want, so you can build your own system.
Totally.
I don't want to build a system for you and then you just use it.
Well, everybody's different.
It's going to limit you. If I did that, it would limit you to a certain amount, and then that would be it. I don't want any limits.
Everybody's different. Not everybody's a Jack and not everybody's a Jill. That's a common thing. And as you get to know us, you'll realize, are you the Jill? Or are you the brainy one? Are you not the brainy? You know what I mean?
Nicest thing you said to me, and she doesn't walk around the house normally and say, "Hey,
No,
brainy
I'm
one."
hey, brainy one. Are you the
There's
data one
they're
or the
different
talking one? So
different
yeah,
adjectives.
exactly.
I'm called different adjectives usually on Sunday.
Right. All right. Well, just remember this too. And I at the bottom, I put this in a different color. Every single person in Land Academy was once where you are. I don't care how much, myself included. When I got with Jack, I'm like, what are we doing? How are we doing? And he showed me, and I followed his steps, and the rest
Well,
is history.
yeah,
What
I walk around behind Jill cleaning up stuff.
the heck
Not in a bad way. Just
does
there's a
that
lot of
mean?
Jill throws a lot of social and emotional, and it's very effective to sellers, and they glom onto it and love it.
What does the cleanup part mean?
Yeah, I don't think we should do that acquisition, or
Oh,
we change roles on that. Sometimes
sometimes,
I love the
yeah.
deal. She hates it.
Sometimes we do our own deals. It's really
Yes,
good.
we do our own deals now
Yep.
once in a while.
All right. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna stop the screen share for a second. One moment here. So Herbert when you're ready, Herbert,
Hey,
yay.
he's here. Awesome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent. We
Great.
can see and hear
Thank
you.
you. We got you
For having
perfect. Thank you for joining us. You're our special guest this whole 3 days, and I thought it'd be fun just to let the group here is a rather large group, clearly the right people. This is day 3, and I would want them to just to see and be able to get some questions to you. So I'm gonna lead it off, Herbert. Like, how long have you been with us? I'm trying to even remember. How many years has it been now?
since 2020,
Cool.
early 2020, yeah.
So 5 years with us. We are now. I leaked it earlier that we're actually doing house deals together now. So would you please share with the group, because I think it's so important for people to hear, where you came from to hear. So what were you doing before you got involved in investing, real estate investing at all?
Yeah. Well, before we start, I want to give my flowers to you guys for a second, just to say how thankful I am that this is even possible. I've always searched for a business model, especially in real estate, that fits kind of my lifestyle that I wanted to create for myself. So I appreciate you guys for creating Latin Academy and the community, most importantly, too, because they helped me out a bunch. Um, So now I'm able to make a good living, obviously. I'm able to work from home for myself, which that was a big thing for me. And then also just overall mindset change as far as life and real estate as well. Because I feel a lot confident now moving towards other product types. Obviously, we started with land and now we're doing some mobile manufactured home deals. Eventually
Mhm.
we'll get into houses soon, stuff like that. So I was
Mhm.
actually able to make more money in my first year with you guys than I did in all my years of playing professional basketball prior to this. So
Wow. I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
to
Did you
think about
make uh,
it,
you
and that
make
was
30 cent you make 30 cents a year playing basketball?
that was my lifestyle before this. That was life. So yeah. And then also you guys, another thing people don't like to, well, people don't haven't really spoken too much about is your work ethic and consistency. You guys are always on a Thursday call year after year, every week. It's amazing how hard you guys work. So I just want to say I'm grateful and thankful for you guys.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, good. So talk about like what kind of deals um, let's go back. What kind of deals did you start on? Like buy for this, sell for that. It's kind of fun to hear the progression.
Yeah. Well, just to go back, my background is I'm from Miami, North Miami Beach, and then I played professional basketball for about 5 years coming out of college, and that was just my life. I really didn't have any other job besides this, so that's where I come from. And I started with the Land Geek program, as you all know, Mark Podolsky. And my first deal was actually through another land investor. I bought a 5 acre in Colorado. Yeah, so that was my first deal. And then I was able to sell it in a couple months. So able to make a little bit of profit, but that kind of opened my eyes. It was a beautiful property. Yeah. And then I decided to skip the whole desert squares and go right into the big deals because I figure it's the same amount of work and energy to go for the big deals than the small ones. So why not?
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
great. So what was it about? Was that when you pivoted over to us? Like I need to get to this level quicker.
Oh, it was a quick a quick change for me. I needed more, and I kind of gravitated towards you guys with the community and just your overall character. I felt you guys were genuine, and that's what
Thank
really
you.
brought me to Land Academy.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. Do you have some questions?
Yeah. So, break us, if you can, break us down year by year. So 2020, how'd you do? Not so much actual numbers, but maybe the mindset change and what you learned and how you've progressed through your career.
Yeah. So 2020, I took the entire year. I was in Spain, by the way, and that was during COVID. So that's when I started this business. I took that whole year to take my time with education and fail along the way. I sent out some mailers, didn't make any money whole 2020. Yeah. So, but then 2021, I had some success, a lot of success, and did about 10 deals that year. And that was the year that I made more than I did playing professional basketball my entire career.
In 10 deals.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So I'm averaging about 10 deals a year so far right now. And it's just me. I'm working by myself. I do everything. I'm the Jill and the Jack.
I love it. Exactly. I love that you share that you failed, but you didn't stop. That's,
No,
I think, a huge thing that people are like, oh, it's not for me. I give up. Like, hold on a moment. In everything in life, you have to expect
I
that.
think if you make it to professional sports, you're used to failing.
That too.
don't get me wrong. I quit on a few things. I tried wholesaling houses. I tried a whole bunch. I tried e-commerce, of course, Amazon, all that stuff, and I quit on those.
Well, it didn't sing to you too. I think that's
Exactly.
part of it. You got to find the good fit. And I totally agree. Like there's plenty of other things I could pivot to in our investing world that I'm like, that's not for me. I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna do that.
Didn't
I
fit the lifestyle that I wanted. Like I'm not
yeah,
trying to drive around for dollars type of thing. We do this from the comfort of our homes.
Hey, we
exactly.
have some real good questions. Do you mind if I just shoot them at you?
Yeah, absolutely.
What, how'd you fund your early deals?
The same way I am now, partnerships. About 95% of my deals now are through partnerships. Through the Land Academy community, we created in my early years, we created an accountability group every Wednesday. Just a couple guys, maybe like 12 of us to begin with. And I met a great guy. I'm sure I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying his name, James
No.
Larson. I
Okay.
met a great guy and he decided he reached out. He was part of the accountability group and he reached out. He said, "Hey, if you ever need some funding for deals, reach out." And I decided to give him a try and I've been with him ever since. He's been perfect, amazing,
Mhm.
perfect partner for me.
Another question is, how much money do you make now every month? These are not my questions,
Yeah,
but I want to know too.
me too.
That's a good question. Let's see. I do have some numbers here for you. In the last 6 months, Total gross profit was about 146,000. The reason I have these numbers is because last Thursday call, we talked about this and I miscalculated. I was trying to hurry up and get the numbers. We spoke about mailer yield and I don't really
Yep.
track it. So I was trying to hurry up and get the numbers for you guys before the call ended and I miscalculated. So just last 6 months, total gross profit about 150,000. Total deals closed in the last 6 months were six. Three were vacant lots, and then three were mobile homes. My average days on market for these deals are about 80 days, which is
That's good.
quite long for me. I'm hoping to get that down.
For this market right now, I think it's great.
great.
No, I mean, you're selling them. That's what's important. That's
Yeah.
great.
I have a couple of deals right now that they're on the market now, just taking a while to sell for some reason. And just my full disposition cycle from, buy to close is about 120 days, 30 days to close, 60 days on market roughly, and then 30 days to resell. That's just what I have so far. And then if we want to get into the actual deals for the land and the mobile homes, we can.
What, let's see here.
There's like 25 questions.
No, you do it. You're keeping up on these better than I am.
What's this? We're getting detailed questions about the deal that you make in general. What percentage do you split with your funder?
50-50.
Cool.
Okay.
So he funds 100% of the acquisition costs, and we split the gross profit 50-50.
I like that.
That's a basic industry standard. How many mailers have you sent in the last 6 months?
That's a good question.
I've sent out, I have that here. I've sent out about 13,000 units for land in the last 6 months and 54,000 for manufacturing.
That's why you're successful. That, and I'm sure you know how to answer the phone. With that kind of firepower, that kind of mail, that's fantastic. That'll ensure success. How long did it take you to make that? Did you ever have to make that mental transition where I got to send a ton of mail out to do well at this?
Well, in the beginning, I'm by myself, so I just wanted to take it easy and see what I can manage. And now I want to send out as much as I can, but obviously not try to overwork myself.
Excellent.
I love it.
My idea is the more mail, the more opportunity.
Me too.
Do you know what's great about this? Like what you just said is great. You're like, hold on a moment. I know what I can make, but it's about lifestyle for me too. And I totally agree with that. And that's how we are. We all know we can times 4 this or even just times 2 it. But I'm like, do I want to work that hard? I like that I can take Mondays and Fridays off all the time or whatever it is that's important to you. Take your trips and to have and be, setting aside for whatever you want to do and whenever you someday want to retire kind of thing. I'm sure, Herbert, you have it all planned out. Like, actually, I'm going to ask that. Do you have an exit all planned out? Like, I'm going to be this age and this is what's going to be in the bank and I'm going to mic drop this?
No, I don't. I do
Oh,
plan to do this for as long as I can. I don't see
okay,
myself
good.
doing anything else, but I haven't thought
That's where
that
we
far.
are too.
True.
Hey, do you wholesale? A lot of questions in here about wholesaling. Do you wholesale anything or do you buy everything?
Buy everything. I don't typically flip the contracts.
Neither do we. We never
Same
have.
here.
I don't think we've ever done one dual closing in our entire lives.
I played with it way, 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 way back in the beginning because I ran out of money literally and I didn't have anybody to call. This is really early years for dough. So I would not really wholesale, but I would almost like just kind of lock it in, get the process started until I could afford to get that one sold so I could buy this one. But the problem is if you're not that into the deal, if you're a lot of
Yeah.
time people do
It's
this.
commitment.
Well, one is they don't have the money. Well, I'm here to tell you we have the money. So don't worry about that. Check. But then the other thing is people are doing it because they're like, I don't know if it's that great. I'm just gonna get a contract. And if it sells, well then yeah, I'll put this all together. Well, then you're not really fully vested in it. And it takes up so much of your time and you're gonna be marketing something that you're gonna really feel good about. Where I'd rather you spend that money on the deals you do love and you do feel good about and you can control. That's the thing too. I'm always afraid. And I had one the other day, not me, but somebody came to me for funding and they lost the deal. They didn't lock it up fast enough. And it's the same thing as if you had a contract with somebody. You do run the risk that, by the time you sell it, that person's gone because they talked to their buddy and their buddy bought it, and what are you going to do? You're not going to chase them for that. You're just going to move on. So if it's
Yeah,
that great, you buy it, you own it, and then we can breathe and sell it.
right. No, I totally agree. The other
Yeah.
day, actually, a couple months ago, I actually double closed for the first time ever, and
Wow.
I thought it was great. The only reason I did that was because the agent who I used as boots on the ground said he had another buyer lined up, so might as well.
It's hard not to if you're staring at a buyer.
Were you
I,
sweating it? I hate those and I sweat it. Like I'm not, it's not my thing. I'd rather close on Friday and then reopen escrow on Monday. And then that's my goal. And we've done that.
I did
Yeah,
my best to manage the seller so that she gets there on time, and it all works out perfectly.
exactly. Mhm.
I'm guessing you are 100% comfortable on the phone. Like you don't hesitate to pick up the phone at all.
No, you're wrong, Steve.
I'm wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. Absolutely. My goal
Really?
is to get off the phones. I do it because I obviously have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not my no. I've if you know me, you know I'm pretty shy. This being here right now is a lot for me. It's getting out my comfort zones. No,
I
Well,
gotta tell you,
thank
Herbert,
thank you, pal. Thank
thank
you
you. You
for
said
being here.
so good. That's one of the
Yeah.
things that, like, when we were going to this deal together, I was talking to the team. So just FYI, I always check my team before I promise anybody money. Do you guys like this person? And they're like, we love Herbert. I'm like, good, because I thought so. You are so calm. We've met in person.
Yeah.
You are so personable. You are easy to talk to. So I would have thought that you're like, this is one of your happy places. I didn't know that you're like, no, I don't like this.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Oh, cool. Good. We can't see you sweating from here.
Trust me, I'm sad.
That's good.
There's a lot of questions about mail and cost of mail and net margins and all of that. Most or all of that is addressed.
Yeah,
Offers to owners is the name of our mailing company, and all of
yeah.
those questions are answered there.
Go there so we can get that.
I can
Well, I'm
talk
gonna say,
about
go ahead.
numbers as far as the units. Let's see, for vacant land in the past 6 months, those three deals I've sent out, like I said earlier, about 13,000 units, and that cost me roughly 8,000 in total for mail.
Cool.
And so if we talk about mail or yield, I know a lot of people like to get into that. So the mail per deal was about 4,400, and the cost per deal was around 2,700. And now for those deals, my average gross profit per deal was about 18, 19,000. So in summary, it costs about 8,000 to generate 57K in gross profits for
That's
those.
that's that's right on target.
Perfect.
That has never changed since I have been doing this. Those percentages, the dollars have changed, but the percentages are, that's
Excellent.
this is a perfect example of
Yeah.
if you just go through the motions, it can happen. What do you hate about this the most, this entire business?
We're gonna end it on that.
Relying on, I say rely, but I like, oftentimes I like to get second opinions from brokers, local agents, and I hate that. I hate relying on their opinions for certain deals that I'm not too sure of. Obviously, we have you guys on a Thursday call, but if there's a time constraint, then I would like to get someone there locally that knows what's going on and see what
Yeah.
they think. But if I
Love
can
that.
get to the point where I'm an expert like you guys and I know it's going to sell at a certain amount, then that would be my ideal situation where I don't really need to reach out and kind of rely on their opinion. I can
You know,
just confident enough that I can just buy it as is, or get
you
at a
can
certain
analyze a deal. You can
exactly.
only analyze a deal so much on the internet. So it gets you most of the time, it'll get you 85, 90% of the way there. There's still an unknown unless you get somebody in there with a camera and the whole deal. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
And if that person's got an overly optimistic personality, where they don't want to see anything negative. They only want to see something positive. You can make a mistake.
True.
I want to
Which
hear all the bit whenever I look at an inspection for a mobile home or a house. I don't want anything positive. I only want to know the negative stuff.
We're not going to talk about inspections that we all just looked at recently because that's
This
comical.
deal that we're doing with you, that inspection came straight from hell.
We
We're still doing the deal.
expected. I like, yep, got it. I'm aware of that. Yep, thought that would happen.
You know, no, I haven't seen exterior plumbing in a while, but they made that work for themselves.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
He's going to back out of his own deal now.
exactly. It's good.
I think we're going to do just great.
You guys are making this deal so easy for me. It's kind of weird just sitting on my hands, not doing anything. I
Yeah.
told
You, it's good timing. It's not always going to be like this, Herbert. I am working on kind of helpfully training some new people here, but it's going to be good. Well, and so this is my way of luring you in to throw more my way too. It's two
Right.
parts. Oh yeah, but you always get Jan. I'll tell you that. You always get my team.
She's
So
amazing.
helping you close them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jan's
Jan's
amazing.
amazing.
Good.
Jan is Jill's transaction coordinator, and anybody who does deals with us gets Jan.
Yeah.
Jan's a 30-year veteran and
Yeah.
escrow agent.
He
There
knows
you
his-
really can sit on your hands and go, it'll get closed and maybe early. Oh, that's good. This is awesome. All right, so let's end on a high. Like what's your favorite part of like if someone in a bar asks you what you do and you just like go, this is why I love this.
like you guys, I like seeing the bank balance increase. I'll be honest.
Hell yes.
Love
Hell yes to that.
doing the deals. And then obviously creating the deals, seeing the different product types that I can go after, the opportunity there. I like doing that.
That's great. That's a good way to and this is a awesome foundation to move into other things should you want to.
Absolutely.
Jill has a set of pajamas that has $100 bills all over them.
Too.
Not real $100 bills, just $100 bills. And I took a bunch of pictures of her without her knowing about it. And I'm all set up to put it all on the internet. I'm like, you know what? I choose life.
Yeah, thanks.
And so what we got to do is I got to get some pictures that you sign off.
Okay, all right.
Because we like to deposit money also.
Yes. This is good. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Herbert. I really appreciate you pitching in and sharing your story today. I've got all kinds of great.
We have probably
comments.
50 people thanking you here, so I don't think you can see it.
Yeah.
See that.
I see. Thank you guys as
Oh,
well.
good. You can
good.
see it. Okay, good.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Great talking with you again.
Talk to you soon.
When we deposit the next check, we should maybe do it together.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Guys, thank you. Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right, let me get back to, I have something special for everyone here. He really is a delight. What's so funny, I really had no idea that being on the phone like this was not his
I didn't either. I thought he was just a magician.
natural at it. Exactly. I call him. He's so calm, easy to talk, well, I mean, one-on-one, but with the sellers and everything. So, all right, let's get into what do we have going on today? You're like, all right, I get it. What do I need to know? What are the next steps? Here are the next steps. And this is your homework for tonight. Join Land Academy, and we're going to get to these questions too. I'm going to get through my special thing that my people put together for you today. And then I also am going to get to these questions. We'll zip through and go back to the beginning and get through everything that we can right now. So what is Land Academy? I think you kind of heard from Herbert too. We're here to fund it. We're here to help you with the community. We're here to help you support, answer your questions. Gosh, everything you need to start from zero and get to where Herbert is. How's that? And we do everything. I want you to know too, just to make it clear, whatever you need. Some of you are like, I want to self-study, do it at my own pace. That's great. Hey, I want someone to hold my hand. I need one-on-one coaching. We have that. You heard about my team. We offer support and tools for my team to help you with like, I stink at this part of the mailer. I stink at, this part of getting deals done, whatever it is, as it all unfolds with you. That's one of the great things about 10 years of Land Academy is we have built different things in along the way that people struggle with to help you, starting with our direct mail company. So, and we even have high level mastermind programs too. So if you join today, I didn't know about this until last night.
Wow.
I know we're doing half off. I'm like, okay, that's big. I usually only do that once a year, and that's usually like a special thing, like usually at the beginning or whatever. Like if we do 50% off at all, because it's a lot. So, but right now we're doing half
So
off.
it's landacademy.org again.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Forget
So
about those pajamas.
yeah, take the pajamas. Yeah. And so, yeah, but we really are doing, that was my team. They're doing half off the whole education bundle. And then the first 10 people, whenever it happens, it could happen in the next hour, it could happen today. The first 10 people that join, and here's where you do right now if you're doing it, because people have done this while we've been on the calls and live, gone right to Land Academy, find join at the menu, you go to the checkout page, put in Land Live, and it's going to take the 50% off for you. And here's the link too. If you want to just put in enroll, go right to the page. But the first 10 people are going to get 2,500, a list basically of land leads. They're going to go into wherever you tell them to go based on your trolling kind of thing. And you don't have to give them the list today, by the way. Just join Land Academy. You're going to have a period of time. I don't know what it is. My team will let you know, like a month to come up with do your trolling, have your thing, and then get these free 2,500 leads where they're going to pull the list, do some pre-scrubbing for you, hand it back for you to go in and price it and get it in the mail. So yay, and they put it in here. What's included? People are like, okay, well, what all do I get? So I know this is a lot. I'm going to kind of touch on the highlights, and then you're going to have this to look at later too. But or screenshot it right now. You can go back through it. It's also on the website. So there's education, and then there's the tools and support, the monthly stuff that goes on. And basically, a lot of it, think of the data. You got to have access to the data. So the highlights are, you're going to get, there's actually 3 programs in there that you're going to get. It's part of the education bundle. So you're going to get Land Academy 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, which is the most current one. Start there. I'll tell you that. Also, every month we do deep dive education programs. That's all recorded and saved. We started that sometime last year. Those are all recorded, saved up for you and preloaded. And you don't get them dropped at a certain time. It's all there waiting for you. So you've got a lot of stuff, a lot of education and knowledge ready to go that you can even search for when you need, I need help with this part of the business. It's all right there loaded. So then the part 2 is, part A is education and part B is the CRM, part B is data, part B is all of that stuff. So that's the stuff, the tools and support, the access to us, like Herbert said,
The community.
a community. Yeah, and our calls. Some of you are in the Discord, the free Discord part right now. There's a behind the scenes Discord part where we're really doing deals and partnerships are being formed and all the discussions that Herbert funding is happening that Herbert talked about today. So that's what you get when you get into the membership part. That's technically it's $295 a month, but every month I give you 1,000 free records. So that's worth $100. So it's really, if you use them, and you better be, like we talked about building your system, that's worth $100. They're 10 cents a record. So you're really
It's our way to
paying-
motivate you to send mail.
Yeah. So it's really $195 a month for all of this stuff included. So your nationwide data tree access, your, the weekly member calls, the Airtable template, getting you in the CRM, it's ready to go for you. 24-hour support in Discord, our equity planner, the regular green test, all the stuff that we talked about, and then all kinds of other things that we load in there to help you, discounts to get your phone answered, and all these old recordings and free land postings on our site and another group that we use. So, and then you get special member pricing too. It's interesting too, if you send at least, I can't remember what the volume, it's like 7,500 units of mail, I think even less than that, pays for the membership. So it's all designed for you to keep doing this and using it, and it does pay for itself. And you'll be like Herbert, be with us for 5 years, going, look at my bank balance
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's it.
He's really made this work for
He
him.
did. He really, really did. All right. So now Land Academy, of course, just to recap, it's everything that you need. And that's what we did by design. We are here to make it cheaper and easier than a la carting this. That's part of the bundle too. Data tree, getting your hand on just the data. You are dead in the water without real data that you can control and manage and manipulate your own. So if you went out and got data tree, just that one thing right there, you did nothing but data tree, you'd be like, oh, I need to go on Land Academy just to get the data tree. Oh, and by the way, with education in these two, now I really know how to use it. So like just think about that. I'm trying to think what else would that, I guess it's like putting gas in your car. I have a car, I can't drive it. I need everything to drive it, and the maintenance,
Look, the real value here is this is a self-study program. The real value, once you get through the self-study program, is immersing yourself into a community. I don't want this to sound like some late night sales pitch. That's not what this is. What we realized when Jill and I developed this 10 years ago, I never, uh, this is a true story. One of the first things that everybody said was, how do we reach other members, right? We released this in
reach us
2015.
and I
So,
talk to us.
so they wanted a community. So Jill went on vacation and I spent 36 hours straight developing what was called Success Plans back then, which is gone now. It's replaced with Discord. And that community, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
It's all, hey, am I doing this right? Am I sending the mail right? Can somebody look this over? Am I choosing the right place to send mail? I want to minimize the number of mistakes that I make, and everybody in that community has been, they all did their first deal at some point. We've done our first deals at some point. So when you're starting out, that's a really valuable experience. You can't put a price tag on it. What's the first thing that all these self-help books talk about, these business books, is surround yourself with people who are already successful, and eventually you're going to be successful. That's what Land Academy is.
Exactly.
It's not us collecting $300 a month because Jill wants a new car. It's really not. And it never has been about that.
It pays, it goes right back in.
We make a ton more money buying and selling real estate than we ever will at this. It's not why we're here. It sets us apart. It's very different.
True.
Than there's other people that have copied us and are trying to do that. And that's just not what this is.
We're here to do deals with you.
We would love to have 500 Herberts.
Yeah.
Who are on their own, making a ton of money, flying on their own, and once in a while need a business partner to finance their deals so they can do more deals. That's why we're really here. Somebody asked me recently, what's the catch? Great, guys. You're sitting there trying to sell something. Here's the catch. We want to be your business partner financially. We're not here to collect education money.
True.
Tuition.
Which is why we cap it.
But this is how we keep the lights on.
Yeah. In case you haven't heard, I don't know if we've talked about it lately, but we cap Land Academy at 500. That's what we can manage. And what we really want, I will never be Land Academy 5,000. That's not our goal. We love having 500 of our friends doing amazing deals together. And just like Herbert, everyone is getting better, doing bigger deals and making more money year over year over year. And that's been our ultimate goal. For me, it is. So yeah. So, okay. So I'm just kind of flipping through these slides. So I'm under 500, Kaniva. It is less than 500. That's a very good question. I hope that
it's always less.
So it's always less than 500. I'll close it.
We have closed it several times
Exactly.
over the last 10 years.
Yep. That's a really good question. And that's important. So that's how we can manage this stuff. That's how we can manage the Thursday calls and talk to people. That's how we can manage, the coaching at the levels we do and manage our mastermind groups. I don't want to be in a stadium. That's stupid. I can't really get to know people like Herbert and do deals with him. So yeah. So ask, Kanika, I would say ask him, that's a really, I'll tell you this, if they're not if they're not closing deals, then they're not gonna probably continue. So the Herberts in there are doing deals. He wouldn't be here for 5 years if he wasn't doing real well.
Look, we're not going to do your
Yeah.
deals for you.
True.
We're going to provide you with all the tools and an amazing peer group environment so you can get all the support that you need, but we're not going to do the deals for you. So how many, she's directly asking,
How many have closed?
how many have closed deals? We don't track that, but I'll
Yeah,
tell you
That's a
what we
good
do
question.
track, the successful ones.
Yeah.
We're on a first name basis with like Herbert.
Yeah.
It's like any other group of people. There's a bell curve.
Yeah.
If you put a guitar in 10 people's hands, 2 of them are going to learn a month later, are going to have a serious propensity to become a musician. 2 of them aren't going to, and this, I put myself in this group on the other end of the bell curve. 2 of them aren't going to be able to run through a chord progression. And then in the middle are 6 people that are doing pretty well. And if they may have to put extra effort in to become a good musician.
Yeah.
And so where you fall on that is up to you. But the guitar and the education are there.
You know, it's easy to think of it like this. We created Land Academy because the planet was begging us to share our little company business model. That's what we did. So we're helping you with our blueprint, how we started and grew our company. And then as we change and get better and we learn things and how we run our own sweet investment company, we share with you. And then any tools that we find, gosh, if I can make it better and cheaper for all of us, I'm gonna do it. And easier, I'm gonna do it. That's what this is. We're all in this together. I guess that's the whole thing. We're not up to teachers and we're not doing this and handing a diploma and saying, have a nice day.
Yeah.
No, you're coming into our world, and that's why I keep it at 500, because that's the size of the world that we want and we can manage. So there you go. That was good.
We mentioned earlier that once or twice a year, Jill and I teach a class called Career Path, which is it's members who want to take a real deep dive into this. And what ends up happening is that I learn as much in Career Path as the people that are there, because here's what happens. Things like this will happen. Yeah, we used your red, green, yellow test, Jack, for the first 2 years, and then really realized that it needed to be beefed up for what we were doing and where we were doing it. So what they did, long story short, and then they share how they share that with us, which, people love to implement my red, green, yellow test and then take it to a trending scenario where it's like, I want to know what happened last week, not just in the last 6 months or last year from a sales standpoint. So what ends up happening is they're taking our program. This is how you know you've arrived. They're taking the basic program with us and making it their own.
Yeah.
Should you do that the first year? Absolutely not. You just follow steps.
So Chris Nelson, thank you so much, Chris, for sharing this. He said it's like everything else. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people on the call today won't be here next year. Jack and Jill want our success because it's also their success.
Chris is a multiple career path alumni.
Exactly. All right. My team alluded to some slides coming up here. Oh, here we go. My team said something, she's, Hope for Suicide, there's something here that will really help you. Okay, so here's the slide that my team was referring to. I'm like, what am I missing? Yay. Okay, so the winner of today, we did 3 quick start consulting calls. There we go. Is Kanika, T, Barry, Q, and Giovanni L. So yay, watch your email. My team is going to send you links to have those conversations. I hope that you guys can do them today. All right, now let me go back. Let me go back to our, I'm going to stop the share here because I want to go back through the Q&A. Please hang with me, everyone, because I'm going to go and grab some of these amazing questions that you had and you've been sitting on your hands for patiently. So thank you. All right. 1 second. I scrolled up.
If you break that apart, Jill, can I just help you real quick?
How do I break it apart?
Right here.
Oh, thank you. That's what I needed. Get to know your equipment. Not that Jack's ever said that to me. Not that I've ever said that to you. Okay. So let's get through some of the, I'm going to try to address some of the big important questions that will really benefit everybody today. All right. Um, so like Tracy, you asked really early on about the pace of the land market now. I hope that was
Yeah, I
answered.
like that question.
Hearing from us and hearing from Herbert, but the pace of the land, does our strategy change?
I'm going to try to answer these questions really quickly because there's a ton of them and they're
Yeah.
good. Uh, the land business when I started in the 90s, early 90s, doesn't even resemble what it looks like now. We were one of the first people to send out, I was the first person to send out mail. And so fast forward to today, those are not the good old days by any stretch. There's a lot more land mailing traffic out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more deals to be had, and there's a lot more margin per deal. What I was focused on back then was sending out blind offers for $500 without any data. Just anybody who owned a piece of property, here's a $500 offer, and we get a huge response because no one's ever done it before. Those are terrible properties. And we found a liquidation way to do that through eBay. That dried up right about the time that Jill and I met. We met socially first, not professionally, and then eventually joined forces professionally. And since then, because it's more competitive, there's more people out there, not only now doing deals, but teaching, we've been forced to change constantly. So I will tell you this, it's an amazing time right now economically to buy any type of real estate because we're slipping into a real estate recession that no one's calling it that, but that's what's happening. And so I can tell you this with great confidence, and we'll move to the next question. Whatever the market's like now, there's a ton of money to be made for the right personality type, and it will be different 12 months from now.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Got change.
Jen asked, I'm going to answer this real quick here. Jen P said, so what title work are you doing before you buy? And don't the end buyers want to do a title search prior to buying? I understand how people buy and sell quickly without doing title work. I'm buying with title insurance. So just so you know, real quick,
Yeah.
we talked about today phase 1 due diligence. Well, phase 2 due diligence is where I dig a little bit deeper. But at the ultimate end, I'm going through title and escrow. So I'm running around with title insurance. So when I'm selling a property with title insurance, that solves all the questions for my buyers. So excellent question. Mike says, can I run an email campaign, run a mail campaign versus, email versus direct mail? Recommend you suggest avoiding email. Why or why not? I think we covered that yesterday a little bit because of the legality. There's still rules about
We have tried everything,
about
faxing, emailing, texting.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
There are huge spam laws that are being more and more being enforced
Yeah,
because people are tired of getting. Do you like spam? I don't.
right.
For whatever reason, sending stuff in the mail is okay legally, and it works. If it didn't work, we wouldn't be here in front of you right now.
I have a yay moment from Alex. Thank you, Alex Resi, for sharing this. Alex said, I already put to work. He said, I was able to put it to practice Jill's phone strategies yesterday of listening and mirroring, etc. When a lead called, it led to a deal today that wasn't going to happen until I did it today. Yay.
Wow. So you created a real estate deal where there
Mm.
wasn't one.
Exactly.
That's magical.
I am so happy. Hey, look at member Jemay giving a little attaboy too. So thank you, Jemay. That's us group. We're going to share we're going to help you when you're struggling and we're going to share in your successes. What's better than that? So
It made my day.
I'm so happy.
And it's not so much, does this work? Does it work or not? The question is, can I make this work?
Yeah.
Because all the tools and resources are here.
Yep. What do I need to do?
You made it work.
Exactly.
That's great.
Mary says, what's your professional opinion regarding blockchains such as Proppy impacting the Land Academy business model? Gosh, we've been thinking about this for 5 years now, and it's still not that big of a thing.
Blockchain as a recording device it will happen, period. The question is when. You know, I didn't think that we would be stopping at a gas station in the year 2025 to fill your car up. I thought there'd be flying cars by now, lawyers would be gone, and real estate agents would be obsolete. So there's bigger forces here at work, but there's no doubt about blockchain and tokens, NFTs, as a form of real estate ownership. We are headed in that direction. we will be gone by then when this stuff kicks in.
I thought it was going to be sooner than later, Mary.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? But as I think it's great. So, and that's
too.
another discussion. We'll talk about that on Thursday call with you.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a very sophisticated
it
question.
is. I live in California. May Lynn says, is it a good state to send mailers? I know California is an outbound state. We know, can I answer this?
Yeah.
May if you didn't get a chance to see yesterday, the beginning of the session, we did a little bit of fishing and trolling and looking at areas. And if you remember, there was a whole corridor down the middle of California, Northern California, like Sacramento up, where it was just kind of lighting up that there were potential things. So wherever, I don't want to ever say it's not a good place. I want you to let the data tell you. Maybe you're looking for ag property. Maybe you might stumble across a little place in Northern California, 2 counties, which we have done well in, by the way, in California. So you might in Northern and Southern in the past, and there's things that might change. And I can't say it's bad because 3 months from now, it might be great again. I don't know, but the data is going to tell you. So that's why I don't want to ever, really say, don't mail there. Because I'll be eating my words in 6 months if I do. So, but it's a good question. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, so how do you meet Alex has some great questions
This is a
here.
very good question.
How do you meet us from where we are? Primarily through Discord chat, if we need help with just diligence or pricing. Also through the office hours on Thursday. Yes and yes.
And yes.
What else is available to me with the education program? You can do one-on-one coaching and you can get in the mastermind. There's really multiple things for you, depending on the level and time and effort that's needed.
So you
All
just
of the above.
so I'm going to add to what Jill said because that's all true.
Yep.
But you just heard from Herbert how he succeeded, and what he did was reached out to other members. We don't know this goes on, by the way.
True.
Reached out to other members. He befriended a funder and
Mhm.
probably a bunch of other people that we don't even know about. And they got together and supported each other to the point where they were doing deals.
Yep.
So utilize the community. You know,
I would start there.
we can't fly out to your house and sit down with you and hold your hand through this. I don't think you're asking that.
Mm-mm.
But I'm saying we don't have the resources. It's just not possible. If that was possible, we would do it.
But we can through our one-on-one coaching kind of do that though. So know that that's available. He says, I feel like I need the education to get to the next level and then the support to look over deals and help me build confidence. So when you get in, Alex, and you're, especially on the Thursday calls, see if that's enough. I would start there because that's included, right? It's all included in your membership that you're doing. So start with asking us as you're doing the deals. And at any moment, you're like, I need a little more attention. It's kind of like I kind of need someone sitting next to me. That's where the one-on-one coaching comes in. And then I would pivot to that. And the nice thing about the one-on-one coaching, you could turn it on 1 month, turn it out like, okay, I got what I needed. I got over that hurdle, or I needed it for 3 months, or I needed it for 6 months. You can, it's not a big commitment. Just do it as needed to get you over and through whatever that is. So great question. And again, that's like everything we do is because you've asked for it and you need it. So if there's something missing, I'm going to say this to this group also. Hey, I keep getting hung up on this. If there's several of you are having trouble with some obstacle that's coming up that we haven't even figured out yet, heck, we'll do it. We have a new product rolling out in April because many people have said, I'm having trouble getting my deals through escrow. It's taking so much time for me to manage them. I'm not that good. I'm not good at picking title companies. I'm not good at reading these HUD ones. I don't do it. We're actually launching in April a product to help you get title closed. You can pay per deal if that's how you want it, or you can pay per month because you've got enough deals going through the system. So we can and we'll continue to come up with things to get you through whatever it is so you can be those acquisition machines that we talked about. That's it. David says, I've heard in Land Academy podcasts and other podcasts that the real estate market is nearing or in phase four. Would you recommend a land/house approach in progression or simultaneously?
100% correct.
We are also House Academy, David. Good question.
Joe and I are buying and selling a lot of houses right now
Mhm.
with success.
Yep. And there's a bundle for that. You could grab Land Academy and House Academy at the same time. So if you don't, if that's what you think you want to do, David, I'll tell you right now, we don't have that thing, but my team will hook you up.
Other people were asking for it, and they're
Yeah.
going to get a DM on it.
Yeah.
There is a bundle,
Yep.
but we are focusing on land today.
So I'll say David W. Yeah, my team will be reaching out to you.
Yeah.
For sure. And if anyone says, even down the road, you think of it like, I want to do this, you can always email my team at support@landacademy.com and go, hey, I was on the thing and I want to do the bundle. I want both. So, yep. There you go. I would definitely do that. Is it feasible to learn both? Here we go. Land Academy House
Yeah.
side by side. Absolutely.
I
Good
would
question,
suggest that.
Tracy. Oh, I thought they had the same. For a minute, I thought you guys had the same last name. Really close.
Aaron's saying here that Aaron's saying.
Oh, we gotcha. Excellent. Okay, so we talked about, so Nicole, how do you get to consistent sales every month? You know what's interesting, Nicole? If you look at Herbert, we don't look at it, he's talking 6 months and
Yeah.
3 months. So if you consistently get into a system and your mail is like that, you can make sure you're hitting those monthly goals. I like to look at it like 6 months and divide it by 6, or a quarter and divide it by 3. Because what if 3 sell this month and 1 sells next month? I'm still hitting my goals and it's
Well,
going to even be higher.
Let me take it a step further. There's 2 reasons a
Good.
piece of real estate doesn't sell. 2 reasons on this planet that a piece of real estate, regardless of type, does not sell. Number 1, it's for sale, but it's not reaching the right people. I have a small hotel for sale, but I put it on the residential MLS. Why isn't it selling? Because it's not reaching other people who own small hotels in the area. They don't care. Number 2, and this really applies to us, it's overpriced. Well, I paid $300,000 for it, and to make it underpriced, it's going to cost $200,000 because that's the way the market is right now. Yep. If you have amazing property that's priced the way it should be and it's priced in a liquidation manner, you will have consistent sales every month. Here's the good news. You have complete control over what you buy. 100% control. If you own a convenience store, you have no control who's going to walk through the door. You don't control your customer base. Or in most businesses, you don't. You have control. So you will have total, perfect, complete monthly sales every single month if you buy amazing property.
Some of your questions coming up here are getting a little like deal review questions, and I love to answer them. I just don't have the time to do it here, but I can on my Thursday calls. So like Alex and Lindsay, you guys, you can be a free member if you want, have a one-time invite to our Thursday call and ask us these
My God,
questions.
they're all
So-
cringing right now.
Why?
I get a deluge of
Oh my gosh, the
requests.
request.
Look, we're having I've been biting my inside of my lip all day on this. Look,
Send
we
a
have a
note
Thursday call. Today's Thursday.
Support at Land Academy and ask for the Zoom link, and I can answer them there. And I'd love
Be
to.
a fly on the wall in the call. There's also the beginning of the call is to the public. So
Yeah,
you're going to have to deal with your staff later on that.
I will.
Good
So
luck.
I want to answer your questions. So any specific deal, happy to do it, and you're welcome to join us. There we go. But we've talked about this a little bit, I think, yesterday, but will you fulfill, just remind us again about neutral letters? Or
Me?
you know what, you want me to?
No, I'll do it.
Okay. Or I
Look,
could, you know
again,
what? Let me start. Can I do one little comment? Here's my one quick little comment about neutral letters is you open the door for everyone to name their price. They're all going to call you. And I don't know if you want that many people calling you back with their make me move number.
Neutral letters.
Yeah.
Again, we
That's the
have
thing.
tried everything.
True.
We've tried postcards, neutral letters, all of it. What really works is a well-priced mailer in a targeted area that you have proven with data is a
Yeah.
place you should be sending mail. Neutral letters are, hey, you want to sell your property? Give me a call. What you're going to get is 10,000 calls. And so you will end up spending 8 to 10 hours. We have people that have gone through Career Path that say, I'm here in Career Path because I've had success with neutral letters. I'm tired of working 15 hours a day on the phone. So it can be successful and you'll get an amazing response. And the chances are you'll never do it again.
Yeah.
You're
That's
not making
good.
the mail work for you. You're just generating a buzz. You're generating what I think is a useless buzz. If you send out well-priced offers with it, mailers with an offer in there, you're going to upset a certain percentage of people. A certain percentage of people are gonna say, "Oh, Paul,
Yeah.
yeah, that price doesn't work, but I want to sell my property." And then some people are going to just sign it and send it back or call and say, "What's the next step?" You're not using neutral letters aren't making your life easier. They're making it harder.
A little bit. Um, Thank you. I want to say real quick to the question, like the Lindsay question, and now that I'm catching up on the chat, this is just like what goes on in our community. Here are two people that weighed in and answered some questions and said, I know this area very well, and are helping Lindsay. So it goes on all the time, and I love it. So thank you for doing that in this environment. Kanika says, how do you find land brokers? When we were playing around yesterday in the beginning in Zillow, we were looking at sold comps, and there were some areas that had a healthy amount of, this is just one way. This is not the only way, but I'm going to give you an example. But there was a healthy amount in some of the areas that had land. We were looking at 5 and 10 acres that were sold land comps with numbers. I would start right there and go looking at, you could see who sold it, the broker. When you open up the listing on Zillow, it'll tell you who sold it, the name, what they work for Remax or whatever it is, and their phone number is in there. So I would go with that, especially when you see, wow, look at this. I'm looking at a screen of 20 of them, and this one broker sold 3 of them. Oh, and then I dug a little bit deeper and I could see 2 of them he sold in 30 days. That's the person. Oh, and I like their photos and I like their description. Ding, ding. So those are the things that are going to help you when you pick a good land broker. That's exactly what I start with there too. And then we'll talk more later about, how do they connect on the phone and that kind of a thing, but that's where you start. Let's see here. What's the profile of a repeat buyer? You know them, you're gonna get to know them and they keep coming back, and you're gonna know how they like their deeds and how they work. And it's gonna be, over the years, I've had several that we don't even talk on the phone. They email me and tell me what they want, and I open escrow and we just have a system. It's great.
Here's a profile real quick
Yeah.
in more detail. They're not the end user. They're somebody who perceives your deal as a good one and can resell it in some way and make money for themselves. Or if the house is the logical use for that property is to build a house, then in one area, boy, if you sell one property to a home builder, they build a house on it with success, they're never going to leave you alone. They're going to constantly want to buy more property from you.
Exactly.
All comes down to use.
So I think we answered this too earlier. I think with the other question for Timothy Z,
Yeah.
we do blind offers, and we use all kinds of sources to make sure we're doing the right thing. And then ultimately, we are data tree that you saw earlier that we provide to you as a member. You have nationwide unlimited access, and a lot of the stuff you can do in data tree is already included as free. You're really only paying for the downloads. When you get down to like, now I'm downloading and pushing the button for these 5,000 seller, I need all the details on these sellers, the owners in this area. That's when it kicks in. So we use Airtable. That's great. Herb already answered that about our CRM. That's a new thing we did last year too. We got a way to hook everybody up with a CRM and a template ready to go for you to start just plugging in your properties and start working them through the system right away. The same one that I use. And we use. We kind of talked about this a little bit again. Brian asked about taxes. I don't remember what your answer was yesterday, because we're buying properties all over the country.
The question is, what are the tax ramifications of selling so many properties in different states? Jill and I have, long ago, I was accepted by the IRS. My application was accepted to get a broker-dealer license for real estate, which essentially allows me and us to be taxed forever on as if we were manufacturing ashtrays. So I'm a former, I have an accounting background, and you can see it on LinkedIn, I was involved very high up in KPMG. So, if you ask 3 accountants how to handle a tax treatment, they're going to tell you 3 different answers. We have a broker-dealer license, and we talk about this stuff very often and within Land Academy.
We're not brokers, but for tax purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen's like, Jim was asking specifically about our
It's not a
CRM.
broker-dealer license, it's a designation.
That's it. There we go. Want to make sure that was clear. We're
Yeah.
not licensed agents and that kind of a thing, because that comes up a lot. And I love to tell the sellers that I'm not an agent. I'm not in any state. Never have been. And I'm an owner and an investor. If you want to see our CRM, schedule a call with my team. It's very easy for my team to screen share with you and kind of show you that. So that would be a great thing if you want to see that ahead of time that you could do. Love all these things. Let's see. Cool. I think stuff we does anybody have any experience using, Lindsay Blink asked, does anyone have any experience on services like Land Watch? Sure. For listing acquisitions. Oh, for bond. And I'm wondering if people have felt like it's worth the upfront costs. Gosh, those things have gotten expensive.
CoStar is crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody come back ever in our group or otherwise and say it was great experience with the CoStar products.
Do you know what I
Not
would
a
do
single
though?
person.
100% Lindsay, a very good land broker / agent like Whitetail Properties or Mossy Oak or something. I think they all already have subscriptions to that. So I would ask that question when I'm interviewing someone to sell my property. Where's my property going to be posted? Are you going to put it on Land Watch?
Excellent.
That'll solve it for you right there. And then you're like, ooh, that's $500 a month saved or whatever it is now. It's nuts. So I just thought of that. Let's see. Having a tech background may help me with the data. There you go. And not everyone is.
There's
So
30 questions at the bottom.
I'm trying to get through them here. One moment. So Timothy says, do you do no money down contracts, seller financing, and note selling?
No.
Mm-mm.
We have experience with all of that, extensive experience together. And I did, and that's not the business we want to be in. We're not in a collections agency.
No.
There's hordes and amazing amounts of money to be made in those businesses. It doesn't fit our personality type.
We know what else? Think about this. Do you want to get a profit of $99 a month for the next, I don't know how many years, or would you rather have $40,000 in your bank account tomorrow to turn around and do it again and again and again?
Yeah.
I'm going to argue at the end of 2025, I'm going to get a lot further adding $40,000 a month than I am with the work involved to layer on $99 and $99 and $99. And again, like Jack said, we've done that and then we've undone that. So we did them kind of at the same time, by the way. That's how we do things. We never turn something off, unless it's, like that. Then we'll layer on something that didn't work. Good thing we have this. That didn't work. Good thing we have this. So, and that's where land is for us.
We have a
Yeah.
material number of people who
Yeah.
come from other groups, other land groups, specifically Mark's group,
Yeah.
who are tired of having
Doing
a
that.
collection agency.
It's so much work. Everybody thinks that it's a joke. We giggle about it. In the whole land investing community, when someone says passive income, we kind of go, really? And everyone who's doing that goes, yeah, it's not passive. So please ask that. And and I would encourage you, you could do it right now in either the our Facebook group, or I would say even better is get into Discord and ask that, in the free section that hopefully you're in right now in Land Academy, like, hey, how many of you have done term sales and what's been your experience? And boy, they'll tell you. They will happily share that. Let's see okay. Timothy says, I'm with a different group. Good. And I want to learn how to do this for no money down, make $100 profit. And is it much better deal for me? Oh, here's my email. Okay. Awesome. Okay. We gotcha. My team, I'm sure, is reaching out to you.
I
Jordan,
want that too.
I know.
No money down with 100% profit.
Exactly.
Sign me up for that.
Double your money. Well, that's
Here's my email
wait a
address.
minute. That's what Herbert's doing. He did no money down because we're the bank, and then we're each splitting the profit. So it's 50%. But yeah, but you could do it, you know, get there, doing your own deals. So you're gonna put some money down. Let's see here. Do we always survey our land? No, I don't. I actually 99.9999999% of the times I
Yeah.
pay for a survey. How's that for an answer? And you know, we have done, I haven't said it this week, but we've done over 16,000 deals. So that tells you how often that comes up. Okay, we got a lot of questions about mail. Looks like they got answered. Um, Sharon said, oh, this is a good question. Sharon Gaber asked, are the mailers tailor-made for each deal? Yes. Is there a basic template that's applicable to every deal? Yes. And how do you get all those out by the thousands? Are you selling them in envelopes by yourself? How does that work? You want to answer 020?
Yeah, Jill and I
Yeah,
created
good question.
a company called offers2owners.com a lot of years ago. And all the products that we have created, O2O is one of them. It's just products that we've been using ourselves or created for ourselves, and we just cleaned them up and gave them a website.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, there's a concept called, you can do your own research, called mail merge, that I've been utilizing for a lot of years. And so it's a lot easier. I understand it's like send out 10,000 offers that, we're going to get an envelope stuffing machine. I understand that it might be your first reaction, but we have that all figured out.
Mhm.
We've had decades to figure this out perfectly.
And again, you can ask in Discord because we've had members that over the years that did that. They're like, this was stupid, trying to save
Yeah.
money and get their own equipment and make room in their garage. And that didn't work out. There's things, that's the thing, that's 10 years of Land Academy and 30 years of us. We're here to help you and make sure you do it right and save money. And when your printer goes down, you're in a pickle, right?
We have a full-blown commercial
So, yeah.
printing company that handles this.
Exactly.
own.
And it's not in our garage with lots of redundancy. That's really, really
It
good.
started that way.
Yeah, that's true. They did start that way. Um, let's see here. The training and the weekly call. Oh, thank you, Catherine. For anyone wondering, the training and then the weekly calls are incredibly valuable. Tons of support. Excellent. So Kanika's like, what are you talking about? Mobile home deals. We do all kinds of things. So, and we can help you with that. In
Do you
land.
want me to answer?
Sure.
There's two types of mobile homes. There's mobile homes that are in a park, which is mostly what we're
Sure.
used to. So, and they pay rent. They pay land rent or lot rent. That's not what we care about. What we love are mobile homes that are fallen down, that are, no one would even really spend one night in the mobile home, that are on their own land. And they're all over the country, and they're underutilized, and nobody cares about them, and they're just pure profit. We're doing a deal like that with Herbert right now.
Mhm. Thank you, David Wareham. You wrote a really nice note here. Thank you, Herbert. You and Land Academy reflect each other very attractively. He's a really good shining example of the solid, stand-up, honest, hardworking people in our group. That's who
I didn't
we
even
all
know
are.
he was a basketball player
I
till today.
forgot
Did
that
you?
part. You know what? I knew that and then I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot he did that. So, um, Anna says, I have a property I'll take 2 million for. That's worth 4 according to comps. But we're elderly and we need to sell. Where do I start?
Here's my email address.
Yeah.
jack@landacademy.com. Please send the state and the address, or
Yeah.
the state and the assessor parcel number, and
APN
I'll
in the
give you
county,
yeah, in the county.
state county
And
APN.
I'll give you an answer very, very, very quickly.
Sure. That's really good. Is there a time frame to complete the Land Academy training? That's a good question. No, go at your own pace. I'll tell you, because I've had people that said it took me a month to get through the content. I was able to do chunks on the weekends. And then I've had people that just said, this is all I did last weekend. I got through it all. I'm like, good for you. So you can go at your own pace, whatever makes sense to you. Let's see here. The fun. What is House Academy? And you're interested in that too. I think we covered that. Team answering questions. Yep, we keep it up. Oh, we had a couple people already start joining. Okay, thank you. I just scrolled down to it. So, oh, yay. I don't know how many we're up to now. I don't even know the names if my team wants me to shout them out. Congratulations and thank you for those of you that have already checked out. So, yay. This is good, Kanika. I've been in tech for 20 years. I'm ready for something new. I'm a data queen. Um, good. Oh, you're gonna fit in great then. So don't worry just because you're like, wait, do I have to be a data person? No, don't worry. We have plenty of people like me who are really good on the phones and I learn it, I figure it out, I get a partner, I use some of the tools. There's all those things to
Yeah.
help you for any of the areas that you struggle. I promise. If these, like I showed you a spreadsheet yesterday, if you're like, are you seriously telling me, Jill, I need to get really comfortable navigating a spreadsheet of 5,000 or more lines of data? We will get you there. Do not worry. I
Chances are you're either a Jack or a Jill. Within Land Academy, that's the place to find the other one.
exactly. So good. Yay. We have a lot of congrats here. Um, you are very welcome. Scott, the format is awesome. Thank you. Everybody says thank you. Great info and support plan. That's it. We would never do something that we didn't, you know what it is? It's like Jack said this a long time ago, parental pride. I get more out of it
Yeah.
hearing how great you're doing. Like
Me
today,
too.
Herbert shared some more numbers that I'm like, I didn't even know that kind of
I'm
thing.
super proud of that for you,
And
Jill.
that is just the best thing ever. Okay. We have, I have three so far to say congrats to, which are Frank, Tracy, and David, and Scott. Yay. Welcome to Land Academy. I hope you all have blocked out today to hopefully be on the Thursday call. We would love to hang out with
Yeah.
you there.
Yes.
So yay. All right. This is so great. Callback heard follow through. Yay. Jen says, I still don't understand. Okay, Jen's like, I still don't understand how the title insurance will help without doing a little title search. How are you issuing a policy? The title company is issuing the policy. They're going to do that. How do you avoid paying a title company thousands of dollars to do a title search and writing a policy? The few deals I've had, I tried to complete the buyers wanted title searches, right? So Jen, I want you to add a zero. How about that? Whatever money you're spending on the property, on the buy and the sell, I bet if you add a zero, like instead of buying for 2,000 and selling for 10, or 8, if you're buying, because then it gets expensive doing title insurance, right? Well, shoot, if I'm buying for 2,000 and selling for 9 or 10,000, that's a great profit. Heck, yes. But if I'm just going to spend $1,200 on title insurance, it's eating a lot of my profit. And then I got to post it for sale and all that. What if you're buying for 20,000 and selling for 60, 70, 80,000? I can afford the $1,200 for title insurance and letting them do that. So that's where I want you to go and be thinking about, and doing deals that you could afford it and warrant it. So here's the other thing, Jen. These more expensive properties, like you said, my guys, my buyers, and the buyers want title searches. Well, that's a title policy. It's done and you could hand them the policy, by the way. If you're selling it yourself, here's a little tip that might help you, Jen. On the title policy, it's going to show how much you paid for it. Blur it out. Blur out any of the personal information that you don't want to be seen in your title search. And you could send it to potential buyers and let them see, here's the background of what went on. And they'll be like, oh, um, questions answered. Thank you, Jen. You could do just something little like that. Exactly. And Joshua, thank you, Joshua, is answering the question
Yeah.
too.
Excellent.
Yeah, they do those background checks and all that for you. Do you have to do a title search on everyone you're selling? No, you don't have to. It's personal preference. And here's another nugget. Most of the time, title assurance is important for two reasons. One, there's a lender involved. Your buyer is getting a lender. They're going to require it. Number two, they're going to do something to the property. They're going to build on it. They're going to do something. And probably, again, there's lenders and other people involved, and that's why. If you're buying and selling a property that's only ever going to be rec land. No one's ever going to build on it. It's like, and it's been for 40 years, it's been rec land, and that's who your buyer is. I will serve it up and say, we can get title insurance. This is how much it's going to cost for your buyer coming to you. Or because I did it when I bought it, here's everything you need to know. Or we can not do it. It's really optional kind of thing. Let them decide too. And if they're paying cash and it's a hunting property, they might go, thank you, Jen. This is all I need. So it's all about the situation too. And these are ongoing discussions and questions we have every single day in Discord, and we are right here to help you every time. It's not a one size fits all.
Excuse me.
You got it. La la la. Oh, here's the link. Oh, good. My team's like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. My team put a link in there for you to landacademy.com/invite for you to go and attend the member call
For Thursday
today.
call today.
Yeah. Oh, Joshua's Classic Car Academy, right? We've talked.
If you look up caracademy.com right now, that's our company.
Yep.
We started Car Academy and abandoned it because there's some very serious and severe rules in place about utilizing, because some people got killed, utilizing DMV data for sales. You can utilize insurance-driven data, which was the backbone of Car Academy, but the data sucked. It wasn't good enough for us to release.
All right, I'm gonna try
The website's still
try
up.
to tip out a few nuggets. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're tipping on 2 hours now. I want to get these questions answered. You guys are hanging in there, so I'm gonna try to get through pick out the nuggets that'll help everybody. This is a good one, David W. wrote, regarding land and house marketing. I've got $3,000 a month set aside for mail. Should I do half houses, half land? Should I do 1 month this, 1 month that? What would you recommend?
What is it?
I have a budget of $3,000 a month for mail. I want to do houses and land. What do you think? How do you think?
If you're brand new at this, I would start with land.
Excellent.
It's easier.
Okay. And then
Transactions are easier. Houses are a little more complicated.
well, let me add to this then, because if you start with land at $3,000 a month on mail, after a couple months of mail, you're going to have more than $3,000 a month to spend.
Yeah.
And then you can
Yep.
dial up your land efforts or start to roll in.
I'd
houses
save the
too.
3,000 and just learn, just like what
Well, he needs to
Herbert
send
said.
mail.
Well,
Extra mail.
Herbert said he spent a whole year learning. I would do that. Now you have $30,000 at the end of the year, and that's what I would do.
Okay, I thought Herbert was mailing at the same time while he was
maybe.
learning.
Oh,
I think he's mailing and learning as
Okay.
he goes.
Yep.
So that's really it. I don't want you to sit on your hands for a year. So, let's see here. I don't
We can
remember
skip
what the-
these tax things.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to do. Oh, good. We're getting down to the end here. Cash out and the buyer gets a piece of land. I'm in. Yay, Frank. Oh, this is oh, I want to add a little nugget here that I just noticed. Thank you so much. If I may share, I started working for Jack and Jill 2 weeks ago. I have learned more in these 2 weeks about them, their process, and the success of their clients that I have from anywhere else, including college in this short time. Katie.
Katie, I didn't know happy employees existed anymore.
Stop it. Oh,
We're
thank
glad you're
you
here.
so much, Katie. I'm so glad we gotta get together. We need to do a team lunch soon.
Yeah.
Or something fun like that to really welcome you. That's so sweet. And welcome there's our people. It's so good. When's a member call? We've got that in here. Hey, thank you, Frank, or thank you, Alex. Excuse me. Alec Ressi said this has been great. I checked out Land Geek and Flight Academy, and these things didn't pass my gut check. I didn't want to wholesale, and I don't want to sell on terms. This jives with me. There you go. Thank you.
Mark was the first Land Academy member.
Yep.
Mark and I have professional history before all of this.
Yep. If you read Mark's Land Geek ebook, and he talks about the guy in investment banking who he had over to his house and said, "What the heck are you doing? Will you teach me this?" That's this one. And if you ask Mark, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
So he's very sweet about
We
that.
still see him.
Yeah. Exactly. It's really good. All right. Well, whew, this has been awesome. Thank you, everyone. We still have slots open, by the way. My team put another thing in the chat. We have 7 slots left for the 2,500 free. I don't know if we'll hand them at the end of the day. So if you're driving or you need to get home on your computer, or you need to run it by your partner, I understand all that too. So it is a marathon call. Thank you, Joshua. I think probably through the end of the day, you'll probably be okay. I know it ends, I know my team, but I think the end of this month. The special goes on through the 31st, I believe. So thank you, everyone. Oh yeah, it ends 3/31. So you've got till Monday to get the special and to get the half off part if you missed the free leads coming in. So we appreciate you all. We appreciate your time. I hope you got to know us and got to know who we are and our community, what you do, and we're not going anywhere.
Yep.
We have been here for 10 years and right now we're prepping for the next 10.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have you in our group. I was going to make me cry and in our community. So I don't know why that just triggered something, but it did. But we appreciate all of you. This has been really good for us too. So thank you. And we hope I see you on our call later today. Bye.
Thanks.